Hey, fuck it. Fuck it, we gotta go. We gotta go. Oh, I got a weird voice for this guy. But if I don't tell you at least something, you won't believe me at all, will you? Yes, we're right back into the action. Stream preview, please. I was kidnapped yesterday morning, and they had me shut in that room blindfolded the entire time. But the kidnappers suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside. My hands were cuffed, but it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone. And then I made my escape and ran away from that room as fast as I could. Stream manager! Stream manager! Through the underground passageway, I presume. I don't like the cut of this guy's earlobes. Are you okay? Sorry, I didn't really want to recall that horrible ordeal, but now you believe me, right? No, not quite yet. Really not. Why are you looking at me with these icy daggers in your eyes? Because he's a prosecutor, because they're all like that. I'll have you know, Agent Lang, a prosecutor's eyes are for discerning the truth. And should they be interpreted to be cruel at times, then so be it. There's a sticking point in Lance's testimony. Let's see what he offers up when I push a little. When I get just a little push. Just a tiny little push. I was kidnapped yesterday morning. They had me shut in that room blindfolded. Blindfolded, you say? By that room, you mean the room in the kidnapper's hideout, correct? Yes, but I was blindfolded the entire time, so I didn't know that until I made my escape. Then you were in the same room as your kidnappers. They spoke in hushed tones, but I could catch bits of their conversation. It was definitely two people, and one of them was definitely a woman, I could tell. I was so scared. I could tell that they were nearby, so I didn't dare make a move.
Hold it!
Hold it! Wait a minute. The kidnappers disappeared. The room fell with a sudden silence. I had been left behind like an unwanted mutt. And what do you mean by unwanted mutt? What a pointless question. It's not like he's going to tell you anything new, you know. It's a poetic simile. You should have learned how to use them, too. You may look refined on the outside. Oh, but it's no good if you're not refined on the inside as well. Did you like my impression of a suave, smooth man? Hands are cuffed. Why do I keep getting DMs? Leave me alone. No! And those cuffs on your wrists, I suppose you are still cuffed in that case. I'm really aware how I am chained to reality. I couldn't find the key, so I'm afraid that I'm stuck like this. Even though I escaped from that jail cell, I will forever be a prisoner.
Hold it!
How did you manage to escape? I wanted to just get out of there, but the door leading outside was locked, which is why I had to use the underground passageway to make my escape. Remember, our escape to be equally as hard. This is an invaluable piece of testimony. I must let it go unexamined. Nope. Sorry, buddy. Your door was not fucking locked.
Objection!
Your door was in fact jammed from the inside, and you could have easily opened it. You see that the door leading out was locked, but was it really? We're talking about that room behind the saloon front, right? Look, I heard that it took quite a few men to get that thing open, right, Sheena? Yes, that's correct. Then take a look at this. What's that? A sword? It's not an especially reliable one if it's broken like that. Allow me to start from the end. My conclusion is that the door was never locked. It was simply held shut by this sword, which was used to jam the handle. Why, bro, nothing. Lance, even though your hands were cuffed together, you could still use them. If that's the case, then why did you not just simply remove the sword and escape? Why didn't I was disoriented. Yes, that's it. I didn't notice it. As if I should accept such a bold-faced lie. You locked yourself in that room because you had to make yourself look like the victim. But you did not, in fact, possess the key to the door. That is why you used the prop sword to improvise and create a prison for your very own.
Not so fast.
I'll have to think through the raid torn. You've been making this guy out to be some of the kidnappers for some time now. I wonder if you've forgotten something very important along the way. Yippee! Hello, the next y'all. Thank you for the raid also. And what would that be? A motive. What else? Do you honestly think that an uptight peer boy like him would hatch up a completely pointless scheme, such as kidnapping himself? Yes. Yes, I think he would. I think he would do that. This proves that Lance did in fact have a motive to commit the crime. Oh fuck. He had a motive because he had money, the money. Or simply, Lance had a very urgent need for money. This is hardly your typical love letter. It is in fact a collections bill. It appears our upstanding boy has accumulated quite a debt. Isn't that right, Lance? Looks like it's hard being the son of a rich man, too. Must be rough when you have to resort to stealing from your own man, huh? Alright, I give up. I abducted myself. Lance! It's over, Lolly. This life, we really are bound to our fates after all. All I wanted was to go with you to a new town. Somewhere no one would know us. I wanted us to be well off with that 1 million. But now, that dream is over. Oh, Lance! Then you're giving yourself up? Yes, I had planned to run away from this world with my Lolly. Oh! Hold on there, kiddo. You can't say stuff like that. Nah, throw this man in the brig. Oliver had even helped with the plan, but then he had to go and stab us in the back. He turned on you. Maybe he didn't want to split the ransom money, that's my guess. It happened almost right after you made the drop-off. When we were alone, he attacked me all of a sudden. After a brief struggle, I was able to contain him and keep him under control. We left him inside that room as Lolly and I made our escape. We wore different costumes and split up. Lolly left first in the blue badger costume. That would mean the person Officer Meekin saw was Miss Pops. But right then, the old man just had to wake up. I was jealous, and he tackled me pretty hard from behind and he hurt my buttocks. Then Oliver put on a bad badger costume, took the suitcase full with the $1 million and ran. I contacted Lolly right away and warned her that she had a gun. They had no idea that they were related, so I thought it would only end badly. I still don't believe it. That person was not my father. Because if he was, I just killed my own father. Lolly, then it really was you. That man was not my father. I mean, because at the stadium, there was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the 1 million in it. That badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. There was a gunshot. The other person crumpled to the ground, and I ran scared for my life. I think the big picture is finally coming into focus, don't you? Lolly, forgive me. I didn't think it would turn into something so frightening. If only I could have protected you. So, Miss Pops, she shot her own dad without even knowing who he really was? If what she says is true. Are you saying she's lying? Why would she lie about something like that? What purpose would it serve? You'd be surprised how often people lie without even realizing it themselves, Kay. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? What I mean is, listen very carefully to your confession once more, and you'll see. Which means we have to do gameplay. Oh, okay, I understand now. That man was not my father. I mean, because at the stadium, there's a bad badger pulling a suitcase with the 1 million in it, okay? That badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. I would assume it's...
Objection!
No! No! You bitch! She showed you. Exploded my balls. He's laughing pretty hard at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, I know, but I refuse to allow him to ruffle my feathers. I'm gonna remain calm and collected, and find my contradictions. There was a gunshot, the other person dropped into the ground, and I ran. But he's Bad Badger, though. But he a Bad Badger, so that means... Where is it? It's gotta be this.
Objection!
How's it not that he has a fake gun? He's Bad Badger. Is that fucking... Oh, God damn. Alright.
Hold it!
Let's actually hold on to some stuff. Were you able to clearly see the gun? Yes, I got a very good look at it while it was pointed at me. Oh, Father, why would you try and shoot me? Do you really think a father would shoot his own daughter, Mr. Edgeworth? I don't know. I don't want to believe in myself. But it's true. My father's left arm was raised with a gun in it. Pointed straight at me. I'm about to die, I thought. Miss Pops. Please calm down. Take a deep breath. And then, would you allow me to please hear that last statement one more time? Yes, of course. But that badger pointed the gun in his left hand at me, aiming to shoot me dead. We take a look at the dossier about Oliver Deacon. It's a dominant writing. That's why you gotta press people. You can't just willy-nilly show evidence. I have a dossier on your father. Okay, and? And according to this, your father was right-handed. Ah, then... The person pointing a gun at you from atop the stage was not Mr. Deacon. Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a refresher course. The Bad Badger has a model gun attached to his right hand, which is why the only hand he could have held the real gun in was with his left. Isn't it possible that it went down like that? Agent Lang, were you paying attention to what Miss Pops was saying? Then again, I suppose I can't expect someone who has never set foot in court to catch it. Enough with the smugness. Out with it already. Miss Pops told us earlier. Also, let me fucking... Love when a video game on Twitch is not the video game that I'm streaming. Games and demos, more like hoes and boats. Ace Attorney Investigaciones. Miles Cycle. There we go. There we go. There's a Bad Badger pulling the suitcase with the 1 million in it. According to you, the Bad Badger had the gun in his left hand, which would mean that he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Isn't that correct, Miss Pops? Yes, exactly. And I'm sure it was the Bad Badger. It had those huge sunglasses on its face. But if that's the case, even I can see there's a huge contradiction. Yes, Miss Pops claims to have seen the Bad Badger, and yet the Bad Badger had both of his hands full. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong. I'm gonna quickly save, cause I don't fucking, fuck off, do-do-do-do, but both hands were not occupied. Holding the gun in his right hand, he pulls the suitcase in the same hand. Isn't it possible for a right-handed person to do both things simultaneously? His doctrine is full of too many conjectures, don't you think, Mr. Prosecutor? Ugh! Don't mind me, I'm relating my save. Hey, does anybody else feel like we just time travel? It wasn't the Bad Badger. Miss Pops, what you saw was not the Bad Badger. Think again, and recall which character was it that leveled a gun at you. It was wearing a pair of sunglasses, and it had that strange blue beard. That sums up the Bad Badger pretty well, I'd say. Too bad for you, but it looks like the Bad Badger wasn't a mistake here. Using my time paradox power yet again. Both are correct. This fucking guy high? What the fuck is wrong with him? They were both correct. Impossible. That just leaves us with an irresolvable contradiction. Miss Pops' entire statement rests on the fact that she saw sunglasses and beard. What if that Bad Badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? This proves that there was a way for the bad Baxter to freely use both of his hands.
Take that!
We found the head. Costumes have two parts to them, the head and the body. Oh, I get it now. The head Miss Pop saw was probably really the head of the bad Badger. However, is it not possible that the body was that of an entirely different Badger? A different Badger? Yes, or to put it more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this Badger. Body of the... Blue Badger! His head may have been the blue bad Badger, but his body was the blue Badger's. Blue Badger. Hold on, let's see here. Was it that had one of those on? I did. So did Officer Meekin's pal. Nice try, but your large was just tap bit. Officer place on the rest after all. Wait, no. I like to strike when I give shit for the record and give my explanation anew. I picked this one.
Take that!
What the heck is it? That was a weird line read. What the heck is it? It's the Proto-Badger. Yes, and it's a simple matter of process of elimination. Miss Pops was wearing the blue Badger's costume, so we can eliminate that one. And the pink Badger is one of the wrong color, which should have been incredibly obvious. All that is left is the Pro-Badger costume. Miss Pops, who was the one who wore the Proto-Badger costume? That would be Lance. Are you saying what I think you are? That Lance Amano donned the bad Badger's head and pretended to be Mr. Deacon? On top of which he planned to shoot Miss Pops while wearing that hideous thing? The stage that was set up in the stadium was nothing more than that, a setup. And its purpose was to lead Miss Pops into believing she had committed murder. Standing there in front of Miss Pops and pretending to be the victim. It was all done so that she could pull the trigger. I had no idea what you're talking about. Why exactly would I have to do all that, huh? There was but one reason, Lance Amano. I pointed to you. You are the real culprit behind the murder of Mr. Oliver Deacon. Wait, no. That's slander. Take it back. You take it back right now. No, and I'm going to write it down so that it's libel also. Just out of curiosity, Lance, which is your dominant hand? I'm left-handed. But what does it have to do with anything? It depends. According to Miss Pops, her attacker held the gun in his left hand. You were literally like 2 feet away from her when she said that, but we're going to pretend that you didn't hear that. Okay, so his voice when he says that, he's like, not so fast! So when he sound like, ha! Who's one-handed doesn't prove a thing. And besides, now you're just being absurd. I like him being tough. I'm going to make him tough. So anytime he says that, he's just very angry, so he says it louder. Sound like the Proto-Badger is bulletproof. Wouldn't misfire and he would have found himself dead, right?
Objection!
Of course. Logically, if he had been shot, he probably wouldn't here with us. But I believe he had thought of that as well, and prepared accordingly. And this should be all the evidence you need. This is how Lance made sure he wouldn't be hit by a bullet. He gave her the blanks! We found one half of the bad Badger costume in the hideout. A broken one. It's not the same one that the victim was wearing. Plus, it was missing something. And that something is the model gun that the bad Badger carries, which should fire blanks. What? Miss Pops, where's the gun you use now? I threw it away into the sea. That makes it a bit tough to verify what it was. Although I believe that we can safely assume that it was the model gun in question. I've heard enough. All you've been spouting so far is pure conjecture. I admit that as long as the model gun is lost to us, I can't prove I'm right. However, I can say that the probability that I am right is very high. Okay, let's pretend that you're right, and the murder at the stadium was a fabrication. In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor? I don't know yet. Ha, I knew you were full of it. However, I do believe that the murder took place during an earlier time frame. Hold it! Please, wait a second. It's simply not possible because I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance. You saw the victim in the state of being restrained? No, you didn't, bitch. You just covering for him because you want his big money stack. I came back to the hideout long after the other two. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. He had tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam, the room next door. After that, the two of us put on the costumes and made our escape. So Mr. Deacon must have escaped after you two left, right? We thought it'd attract too much attention if we left together, so I left first. We planned to meet up again at the stadium, but then, as I was walking through the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone. I never managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also stole a gun from me at that time. And then the murder. Mr. Deacon must have overheard their plan to meet up at the stage. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Pop saw the victim with her own eyes, which means that the victim is still alive at that time, wouldn't you agree? Why does that sound wrong to me? Must be something amiss about this account. Well, let's see what happens when I examine in more detail. I say what you say is bullshit. Nope. He had tied Miss Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door. I sleep now. Good night.
Hold it!
Good night, Torn. You bitch, I was in that room, you fuck. You are sure that it was Mr. Deacon that you saw? Yes, I'm certain of what I saw. Did you go into the other room to check? Lance said it was best that I didn't get too close to him. Lance, he's such a kind soul. Then are you telling me that you did not confirm that it was Mr. Deacon for yourself? I checked through the slit in the door that separates the two rooms. He had a bad badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure. It just had to be Mr. Deacon. You saw a bad badger head. Captive had a bad badger's head on.
Hold it!
So the tied-up Mr. Deacon was still in his bad badger costume. Yes, and? It would appear that she misread the whole situation. What now? Should I raise an objection? Raise an objection. The person you saw was not the victim. What? Why not? I will tell you why not. With this. This, Miss Pops, shows that the person you saw was not the victim. Ooh. No fucking way.
Take that!
God damn it. Oh, I was gonna be like, did you see the man wearing this? And she's like, yes, I did. That was me! I'll show you what you mean by that. Oh, it would seem that I made a mistake. Why was he tied up in his bad badger costume? If I think a little more on this, the answer should come to me. Save again. No. Oh! And because he wasn't wearing...
Hold it!
It is! Raise. Because he was fucking not wearing this. You gotta be fucking shitting me, bro! Nah, no. Fuck you, game. That was the right fucking answer. Hold on, I'm looking up some. I'm answering a thing. God damn it. Okay, well, certainly fucking. They raise an objection. Wait a fucking minute. Okay. I'm gonna fucking. Maybe I'm not. Okay, maybe I'm not trying to prove who it was with what they were wearing. Don't tell me I'm supposed to pick this and then it gives me more. Oh, you motherfucker! God damn it! I thought I was like, oh, he was wearing the pendant, or he was wearing a lawyer's badge. Ugh. Miss Pops, the person you saw was not Mr. Deacon at all. Fuck you, game. Huh? The person you actually saw was this person. It was me. It was me. Miles Edgeworth. Actually, hold on. Did I see a trophy about this? Let me see. No. 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 It was me, Miles Edgeworth. It was me. Huh? The person I saw was you, Mr. Edgeworth? I always thought it was a bit odd. Why would the kidnappers abduct me, even after I had handed over the ransom? It's not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have just taken the $1 million and ran. But in the end, there was a point to it all. It was to make me look like Mr. Deacon. And if that was the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe we can assume that the victim was already dead at that time. Well, Lance, am I right? You showed Miss Pops a person, namely me, the Bad Badger's head on, and then made your costume escape together, or so you could pretend it. What do you mean he pretended? Exactly that. I believe Lance watched you escape, then doubled back to the hideout. Probably to come and remove the Bad Badger head from my unconscious self. And to create his fake prison with the prop sword, then escaped via the passageway. Hold your tongue, boy. Don't get caught up in that tidal wave of words coming out of Mr. Prosecutor's mouth. Tidal wave. We've heard a lot coming out of you, but I've yet to see a shred of evidence. The victim's betrayal and his subsequent detainment. All of that could have happened while you were out cold. That's right. You were out for quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor. Even if that were the case, Miss Pops would have still seen me tied to that beam. I was scared of Mr. Deacon, so I didn't go into the next room. So I really have no idea if you were in there or not, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, it would seem that you can't prove a thing. Ugh. Hold it! Who said that? Please wait. Mr. Amano. Miles, my boy, it looks like you've really given it your all. And Lance, it's not good to cause trouble for others. What was my old man voice? Oh, there we go. Dead. Let's see. You were the one in charge of the investigation, correct? Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you. Oh, do you now? Is that what I think it is? It's the Bad Badger costume the victim was wearing.
and a gun. I couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and found these myself. It appears that they were disposed of in the sea.
There's no one in this country who actually obeys the law.
Oh. Agent Lang, please calm down.
The heck is that scrap of paper? This appears to be a letter from the chief of police. Please allow Mr. Amano complete freedom to do as he sees fit, it says. What? The chief of police? What the? Just who does he think he is? The person who wields the highest authority in this area.
Now, there is no need to be so upset.
I'm not a cop from this land, so I'm not bound by the laws of your country. I don't really hope, but I hope if it ever happens, I do hope there is a cop that goes to some other country. For some reason, he gets to keep his gun and he does a fucked up thing or does something. And then they're like, hey, you can't do that. It's illegal because you're not police from here. And he's like, I'm American. Your laws don't do anything with me. Because some fucking cop would be like, your laws don't fucking do shit to me. I'm a cop from America.
No. Wasn't this meant to strong-arm you into anything? It's just a request. I'm only asking that you please respect the laws of the land.
I can't really say no to that. However, returning to the topic of hand, it doesn't matter who found the evidence. Its value remains unchanged. Alright, now let's take a look at this new evidence.
I've already gotten the results back. I had a special forensic research lab that I'm on good terms with to conduct the tests. They verified that the blood in this costume belonged to Oliver. As for the gun, the only fingerprints they could find was yours, Lauren.
What?
You disappoint me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son such stress and heartache. Thank goodness I was able to find the final pieces of the evidence. With this, you'll have no reason left to push my poor boy around.
That's it? You saw the career-making piece of his evidence? I'll be the judge of that. I won't arrest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. What about this gun? Could this gun be the actual murder weapon? Used to kill Deacon was originally stolen from guard by victim during escape. This bullet hole looks kind of burnt around the edges. Wait, those burn marks were left by the gunpowder. Oh, this is the most important fact. Why is that? Is it is proof that the victim was shot at point-blank range. When a time shooting gunpowder burn, it's proof he was shot from point-blank. Feet. Gun. Oh, what's this? Looks like there's something inside the costume head. Hey, they sparkle. I bet they're really valuable. Sorry, but they're just pieces of a mirror. But why are they in here? These pieces are found in the victim's costume. Why were they in here in the first place?
Well, are these not the most evident pieces of evidence you've ever seen?
Thank you, Dad. This should be enough to convince even Mr. Eggsworth over there. Decisive evidence. I'll fucking see about that, you fucking prick. Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that murderous gun, and you proved that it was Lally who killed Oliver. But Oliver was also after Lally's life. For Mr. Edward, even if you must say that Lally was only acting in self-defense. The fingerprints on the weapon, huh? Oh no, this isn't helpful at all. Look, Mr. Edward, all I have to do is save Lally. But in the end, all I have to do is watch as she takes on the punishment for her crimes. That may be all you can do, however. I still have a case to solve and a job to do. the job of unraveling your insidious lie. You wound me. Why won't you believe you're in the face of all this evidence? Fuck you and your little fucking laurel on your fucking shirt. You know what? I'm gonna fucking press this. Press. Those fingerprints, are you sure they belong to Miss Pops?
There's no mistake about it. Through my connections, I had the best forensics techniques money can buy performed.
May I see a paper?
No, I dropped it in the lake.
I find that being a bit peculiar.
What? Are you trying to pick an argument with me?
What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Yes. Franklin, I don't believe that Miss Pops' prints should be on that gun to begin with. The reason why Mrs. Pops' prints should not be on the gun is... because she was wearing a fucking costume. Simply not impossible for Miss Pops to have left any prints on the murder weapon, because while she was in the stadium, Miss Pops was wearing a costume.
But that's a mistake. We thought Frank got burnt.
Well, Miss Pops, do you remember touching the gun at all at any time?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back in the hideout. I handed it off to Mr. Deacon when he and Lance left for the haunted house.
To retrieve the ransom money, I suppose. And there you have it. This is when Miss Pops' prints found their way onto the gun. You understand now, Mr. Amano? The fingerprints do nothing to prove that Mrs. Pops is the murderer. But you still don't have anything to prove that she isn't the killer, right? You seem very adamant about insisting that your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer.
Oh, Lance!
What? No way, I'm incredibly worried about her. But that doesn't negate the fact that you don't have any evidence, right?
That's where you're wrong. I have the evidence.
What? How?
No one's gonna question how he's saying how. The story that Miss Pops killed the victim at the stage in the stadium is the whole affair is simply not true, because that was not the real crime scene, but a setup. This proves that the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all. Fucking... What time the shooting?
Take that!
This? Oh, let's take another good look at the costume the victim was wearing. Then, I believe, why he was not shot at the stadium. Pikmin, hello, very short stream, I'm ending soon, I gotta get through this part of the costume that proves it. The bullet hole, right? Oh my god, I got so fucking lucky. The burn around this bullet hole was made when the victim was shot at point blank range. Yes! He was shot like boom. Like on the stomach, not like from like feet away. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, I got it.
So then you mean the murder Miss Oldback saw at the stadium really was?
Yes, she saw two people, but they were separated by a distance. If the victim was indeed shot from below the stage, there shouldn't be a gunpowder burn. Look at you, Mr. Smarty Pants Prosecutor. Since you seem to know all the answers, why not tell us where the real crime scene is then? Oh, Lance set me up to look like Mr. Deacon back at the hideout. If that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to that. And the location where the Lance and the victim were just before I was in prison was... Oh, the fucking haunted house! And there's fucking broken glass! I know the real scene of the crime. The real location was... the haunted house! I think it's not unreasonable to assume the murder took place in the haunted house. Haunted house? Yes, and I have proof that it is highly likely that the victim was killed there. What proves that the real scene of the crime was the haunted house? It's the fucking mirror fragments. These are inside the costume the victim is wearing. They're fragments of a mirror. Mirror? What does that have to do with anything? Indeed. The quote knocked out from the transporter is just getting juicy. You don't exactly expect to find pieces of a mirror inside a costume.
Yeah, that's actually pretty dangerous.
However, there is one place I can think of where there's a plethora of mirror fragments. And that is the haunted house. Lance Amano, I propose that you killed Mr. Deacon with the revolver in the haunted house. After that, you stole the Blue Badger-mobile to move his body to the Wild Wild West area. The timing of when the Blue Badger-mobile was stolen confirms this as a fact.
Man, my boy, say no more!
I'm sorry, Mr. Amano, but I cannot do that. Be quiet.
Yes, please, do something.
Ernest Amano, correct? I mean you. I meant you. Now be quiet, Gramps.
How dare you?
I don't need words. The only thing I require is evidence. Decisive evidence. And to call this mirror bits decisive is a bit too presumptuous, Mr. Prosecutor. What? Sheena, wasn't there a mirror in the kidnapper's hideout? Yes, there was a mirror there. Mirror that's for the haunted house. You see? Isn't that possible the fragments got in the costume there? At Aiken Lane, there was no fragments on the floor, so the probability is very low. Probability? Lang Shi says, on truth's paths, the word probability does not exist. The only thing that does is definite proof. The question, Mr. Prosecutor, is, do you have the definitive proof you need? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you? Do I have solid evidence that proves the murder took place at the haunted house? The answer is no. See? So since you don't have any, shut up. I don't have evidence yet, but I'm certain the murder occurred around the time I turned the ransom over. At that time, the only people at the haunted house, besides myself, were Lance and Mr. Deacon. I can prove that the murder took place at the haunted house, and I prove Lance's guilt in connection to the murder. What now, Mr. Edgeworth? Agent Lang, I have a special request. Yeah? I'd like to prove to you that the scene of the crime was indeed the haunted house. Why in the world are you asking the werewolf for permission? Because I don't really have a choice if I want to find the truth. Alright, permission granted. But you're not to touch a single thing, got it? That won't be a problem. All that's important to me is that the truth be brought to light. It doesn't matter by who or how it's done, as long as it is. Sheena! I'm here. Put in the paperwork for the authorization immediately. Understood. I'll go get the Gatewater Group's approval. Alert! Who was that?
Oh, no. Let's hold on for a second. There's no need to obtain approval.
Mr. Amano?
Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this.
What is this? Sheena! It's the deed to the haunted house. The deed? Read it out loud. Gaywaterland Inc. hereby bequeaths the property known as the haunted house to Mr. Amano for the lump sum of $1 million paid in full cash. What?
Oh, as you can see, I am now the legal owner of the haunted house.
Are you kidding? When did you...
I ran into the owner of the park earlier and we made a deal almost immediately. How quickly things move when you prepare $1 million in the blink of an eye.
That $1 million you paid, don't tell me was...
Oh, that's right. This disgusting suitcase belongs to you, doesn't it? I don't have a use for it anymore, so you're gonna have it back now.
You used the ransom money.
My Lance is a good boy. He even apologized for the kidnapping a bit earlier. So I do believe that I will forgive him. After all, he did return the ransom money. That's the way things are. If you please discuss things with me from now on.
Discuss? What is there to discuss?
Why, permission to enter the haunted house, of course.
While we were busy listening to Lance's story, Mr. Amano was out there preempting us.
Permission to search the haunted house is denied. End of discussion. Bye. Agent Lang, I want you to arrest that girl. And Miles, you should hurry on home now, my boy, before I really lose my temper.
Oh, Mr. Amano definitely has the deck stacked in his favor here. What should I do? If I leave it like this, the truth will be lost forever. To be continued. I think I'm going to stop here. I did say 50 at 50-minute stream, but... Yeah, let's save. Okay. We'll save here. Quick stream. Alright, let's quickly write out. I got a movie to watch with buddies. So I will, come on, give me the Lucy raid. Give me the raid.
But then I realized...
Okay, I'm gonna raid. Where's my boy? Where's my boy Fitzpatrick? I'm gonna raid him. Alright, I got to raid and run. So I hope you guys like him playing Sekiro. Sekiro's a good game. I can't wait to play that. Tomorrow I'll be playing Shadows of the Dam. First when I can. So I will see you guys tomorrow playing a new game. It's going to be such a cool game. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.